Now, let's move to simple exponential equations in your general math. So, question 1 says, solve the following equations. Okay, the instruction says solve the following equations. Question 1, x raised to power half is equal to 2. X raised to power half to, what we do here is we are looking for x, so we remove the half from x. How do we remove the half? Multiplied by 2 is equal to 2 raised to power 2. We also multiply this by 2. 2 raised to power 2 is the same thing as 2 raised to power 1. So we multiply 1 also by 2. Let me start again so you can get. We are looking for x. This is the question. We are looking for x. X is raised to power half. So we multiply it by 2, which is the denominator of 2. Here, 2 is raised to power 1. We also multiply it by 2. So in doing this, 2 we divide 2. That gives you x raised to power 1 over 1. X raised to power 1. This will give us x raised to power 2. So x will be 2 raised to power 2. This will give us 2 raised to power 2. So x is 2 raised to power 2. And x is 2 times 2, 4. That's number 1. Question 2 says, x raised to power 1 over 3. Find x if x raised to power 1 over 3 is equal to 3. We multiply 1 over 3 by the reciprocal of 1 over 3. What's the reciprocal of 1 over 3? 3 over 1, or 3. Here, 3 is also raised to power 1. We multiply it by 3 over 1 also, or 3. That gives us x raised to power 1 is 3 raised to power 3. Now, x raised to power 1 is x. 3 raised to power 3 is 3 times 3 times 3. So x is 27. That's question 2. Question 3 says, a raised to power minus 1 is equal to 2. A raised to power minus 1 is equal to 2. What's the reciprocal of minus 1? It's also minus 1. Reciprocal is what we multiply by minus 1 to get 1. That's minus 1. So here, 2 is the same thing as 2 raised to power 1. So we need to multiply this also by minus 1. Whatever we do to the left, we do to the right also. So what does that give us? We get a raised to power 1 is 2 raised to power minus 1. Here, minus 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. So that gives us a is 2 raised to power minus 1. That means a is equal to 2. So next is what? Number 4. Next is number 4. What do we get in number 4? A raised to power minus 2 is 9. A raised to power minus 2 is what? 9. A raised to power minus 2. What's the reciprocal of minus 2? That's minus 1 over 2. We multiply minus 2 by minus 1 over 2. 9 is the same thing as 9 raised to power 1. So we multiply this also by minus 1 over 2. That gives us a raised to power 1 is 9 raised to power minus 1 over 2. So here, what do we get? A is 9 raised to power minus 1 over 2. That's the same thing as a is equal to 1 over 9 raised to power half. You understand? And 9 raised to power half is square root of 9 raised to power 1. So a is 1 over root 9. Right? 9 raised to power 1 is 9. So a is 1 over square root of 9. A is 1 over 3. So that solves the problem for that. Number 4. Are we not past number 4? Okay. Number 5. 2x cubed is 54. It's number 5, not 4. Number 5. 2x raised to power 3 is equal to 54. Here, we divide both sides by 2. 2x raised to power 3 over 2 is 54 over 2. What does this give us? X raised to power 3 is what? 27. We multiply 3 by the reciprocal of 3, which is 1 over 3. Here, 27 is raised to power 1. We also multiply that one by 1 over 3. What will that give us? That that will give us x is equal to 27 raised to power 1 over 3. Whenever something is raised to a fractional index, the denominator is the root, the numerator is the power. So that will give us x is equal to cube root of 27, 3. Okay, let's do it this way. 27 raised to power 1 is 27. What's the cube root of 27? 3. So x is equal to 3 is our answer. Number 6. What does number 6 say? X raised to power minus 1 over 2 is equal to 5. X raised to power minus 1 over 2 is equal to 5. So x raised to power minus 1 over 2. The reciprocal of minus 1 over 2 is minus 2 over 1. So we multiply this side by minus 2 over 1. Do the same thing here. X raised to power 5 is the same thing as 5 raised to power 1. 5 is the same thing as 5 raised to power 1. So we multiply that 1 by minus 2 over 1 also. That's the same thing as here on this left hand side. 2 we divide to minus times minus plus. So we get x raised to power 1 is equal to 5 raised to power minus 2. This gives us x is equal to 5 raised to power minus 2. Now x raised to power 5 raised to power minus 2 is the same thing as 1 over 5 raised to power 2. So that's 1 over 5 times 5. 1 over 5 times 5, x is equal to 1 over 25. So that solves the problem for now. Number 7. Question 7. N raised to power minus 2 over 3. Okay, I think. Okay, n raised to power minus 2 over 3 is equal to 9. N raised to power minus 2 over 3 is 9. We are looking for n. What's the reciprocal of minus 2 over 3? Let me write my index for minus 2 over 3. The reciprocal is minus 3 over 2. So we multiply 9 is 9 raised to power 1. We also multiply the 1 by minus 3 over 2. All of this will give us what? 3, 3, 2, 2. Minus 1 times minus 1, 1. So that gives us n raised to power 1 is 9 raised to power minus 3 over 2. In this kind of situation, the inverse means, the minus means an inverse. So that's n is 9 raised to power 1 over 9 raised to power 3 over 2. What does that tell us? N is equal to 1 over, the denominator is the root, so we have square root of 9 raised to power 3. Is that clear? I prefer to use the root before using the power. So let's put it this way and put the 3 outside. So this means we want to find square root before raising our answer by what? 3. This means we want to find the square root of 9 before now raising the answer to power 3. So let's go ahead and do that. So n is equal to 1 over, the square root of 9 is 3. So we raise 3 to the power of what? 3. I can use bracket if I like. It means the same thing as 1 over 3 raised to power 3. That means n is 1 over 3 times 3 times 3. That gives you what? N is 1 over 27. N is equal to 1 over 27. So let's continue. Number 8 now. In question 8, 2r raised to power minus 3 is minus 16. 2r raised to power minus 3. 2r raised to power minus 3 is minus 16. This kind of question is very simple. Divide both sides by 2. So 2r raised to power minus 3 is minus 16. 2r over 2 minus 16 over 2. What does that give us? That gives us, here 2 we divide 2. You will be left with r raised to power minus 3. Then 2 divides minus 16, you'll be left with minus 8. So my answer is r raised to power minus 3 is minus 8. Now, what does that give us? R raised to power minus 3 is the same thing as 1 over r raised to power 3 is minus 8 over 1. Let's just cross multiply here. what do we get? R raised to power minus 3 is the same as 1 over R raised to power 3. So this is 1 over R raised to power 3 is equal to minus 8 over 1. So that gives us what? Cross multiply, you get minus 8R raised to power 3 is 1. So R raised to power 3 is 1 over minus 8. R raised to power 3 is minus 1 over 8. It can be written like that too. So R is what? R is going to be cube root of minus 1 over 8. If you have R as cube root of minus 1 over 8, that means R is the cube root of minus 1. R is the cube root of minus 1 over cube root of 8. The cube root affects both numerator and denominator the same way. So R is minus 1 over what? 2. How do we get cube root of 8? So you do 2 in 8, 4, 2 in 4, 2, 2 in 2, 1. Cube root means these three factors will be taken as 1. So the cube root of 8 is what? 2. In the same way, if I wanted to find cube root of 27, this is how I would get cube root of 27. I'll just go 3 in 27, 9, 3 in 9, 3, 3 in 3, 1. So these three factors will be taken as 1, 3. That means the cube root of 27 is 3. Exactly. And then let's say I want to find the cube root of a number like 64. Let's say I want to find the cube root of a number like 64. So I'll just go 64, 2, 32, 2, 16, 2, 8, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 1. So cube root means I'll take three factors as 1. These three will be represented as 1. These three as 1. So the cube root of 64 is going to be what? 2 times 2, 4. So take note of how we get cube roots. If you were looking for square roots, you would have done, taking two factors as 1. That was what number? That was number 8. Let's go to number 9 now. Number 9. Let's go to question 9. It says 5x is 40x raised to power. 5x is 40x raised to power. What is it? Half or minus half? Okay, x raised to power minus half. This is simple. I can divide both sides by 5 to reduce my equation. 40x raised to power minus half over 5. 5 we got 40. You have 8 left. So that's 8x raised to power minus half is x. 5 we cut 5. You have x left. I don't want to make it look like I cancelled what I wrote, so that's why I'm cleaning. Let's continue. So here, let's divide both sides by x raised to power half is what? 8x raised to power, no, x raised to power minus half, 8x raised to power minus half over x raised to power minus half. So that means this will cut this, it will not be there again. You have only 8 left. Then you can now simplify your left hand side. Let's put that together. We get x raised to power, x here is x raised to power 1 divided by x raised to power minus half is equal to 8. This one would have taken out this one together. You understand? So all that you'll be left with on the right hand side is 8. This is the same thing as x raised to power 1 minus half. Division means subtraction of powers. So this will give you x raised to power 1 plus half is equal to 8. That's what? 1 plus half is 1.5. So x raised to power 1.5 is equal to 8. X raised to power 1.5 is equal to 8 means x raised to power 3 over 2 is 8. If x raised to power 3 over 2 is 8, that means x raised to power 3 over 2 times 2 over 3 is 8 raised to power 1 times 2 over 3. I want to use reciprocals to simplify. 2 over 3. So what does that give you? That gives you 3 cut 3, 2 cut 2. So you have x raised to power 1 left. I'm going to have x raised to power 1 left on the left. Then 8 raised to power 2 over 3 left on the right. So that's what x is 8 raised to power 2 over 3. This means x is cube root of 8 all squared. So I can do it this way, or say x is cube root of 8, then the square outside. So let's find the cube root of 8, 2. 2 raised to power 2, 4. So that gives me 4 as my answer. Number 10. That was number 9. Number 10 now. 5 raised to power x is 25. 5 raised to power x is 25. All I need to do here is try and write both sides in the same base. 5 raised to power x is 25. Will give you 5 raised to power 2. So x is what? 2. Did you understand that? Number 11 now. Number 11 now. Number 11. 9 raised to power x is 27. 9 raised to power x is 27. 9 is the same thing as 3 squared raised to power x is 27, the same thing as 3 raised to power 3. So if we put this together, you get 3 raised to power 2x is 3 raised to power what? 3. Now the bases are the same, these bases are the same, so we can equate powers. What does that give us? 2x is 3. X is what? 2x is 3. X is 3 over 2, or x is 1 and a half. That solves the problem then. Number 12. Number 12. I think that should be the last question in the exercise. 4c minus 1. 4 raised to power c minus 1 is what? 64. This gives you what? 4 raised to power c minus 1. Let's try and write both sides in the same base. 64 is 4 raised to power 3. You want to ask me how I got that? 64. Let me change my marker. 64. I will divide with prime factors 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and so on. I can start with 2. 2 in 64, 32. 2 in 32, 16. 2 in 16, 8. 2 in 8, 4. 2 in 4, 2. 2 in 2, 1. So this is 4. This is 4. This is 4. So that means what? 64 is 4 times 4 times 4. I think you can see that this is 4. This is another 4. This is another 4. So 64 is 4 times 4 times 4, or 4 is to power 3. Exactly. Hello? Hi Sam, are you ready now? No problem. I'm going to send you something now. Just give me a few seconds. All right. Now, so sorry for that interruption. That means 64 is 4 raised to power 3. So that solves the problem there. So what does that give you? 4 raised to power c minus 1 is 4 raised to power 3. The bases are the same here. 4, 4. So I can equate the powers. C minus 1 is equal to what? 3. So C is 3 plus 1. C is what? 4. So that ends the question. I think that with this, you know the basics of simple exponential equations, and you can do this exercise. Do this as your exercise or homework. You submit in the comment section so I can help you check it. Solve the following equations. Let's go. Solve the following equations. Solve the following equations. I'm just going to give you similar questions like what we did together. Number 1, 2 raised to power x plus 1 is equal to 32. Number 2. 3 raised to power c minus 2 is equal to 81. So that should be easy enough. Number 3. Number 3, y raised to power. Let me start checking to see. Okay, let's do it this way. 9 raised to power. 9 raised to power y. Let's make it 9 raised to power y is 243 raised to power is 243. That's okay. Number 4. Just similar questions like the examples we just did together so that you can use it to practice. 5 raised to power x is, let's make our own. 5 raised to power 2x is 125. I think that will help. That'll be enough. Here, let's make it 5x 40x raised to power minus half. Let's make ours number 5. Let's make ours 5x is equal to 160. X raised to power what? Okay, let's make our 5x is equal to 5x raised to power minus half. I think that will not be too difficult. Alright. Number 5 now. Okay, that should be number 6. Number 6, similar question as number 6. Number 6, 2r raised to power minus 2 is equal to 8. Let's do it that way. 2r raised to power minus 2 is equal to 8. Number x raised to power minus half is 5. Let me give you one like that. Well, let's make ours x raised to power minus 1 over 3 is equal to 6. X raised to power minus 1 over 3 is equal to 6. Number 8 now. I'm getting there. 10 or 12 will be okay. Okay, 2x cubed is equal to 54. Okay, let's make our own number. 3x raised to power 2 is equal to 3x raised to power 2 is equal to what? 3x raised to power 2 is equal to, I'm coming 54 times 2, 108. Okay, let's do it this way. X squared is 4, 4 times 3, 12. 3x raised to power 2 is 12. That's okay. 3x raised to power 2 is 12. That's okay. Then let's check for number 1. X raised to power half, x raised to power 1 over 3, a raised to power minus 2. I think that we have. That's the last way we are going to do. Number 9. X raised to power minus 1 over 3 is equal to 5. Then number 10. X raised to power half is equal to 8. Number 11. X raised to power minus 2 is equal to 9. Number 12. X raised to power 2. X raised to power 2 is equal to 25. 25. So do this as your classwork. Do this as your classwork exercise. I will continue from there in the next video.